Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is me, your old pal Orpheus, with another edition of Orpheus Plays. But today I want to talk about something instead. You'll notice we're not playing Blade and Sorcery. Instead, I'm in my Quest home environment here. This is the Quest Dome. I love it. It's got some nice ambience going on here. God, I would love to live in a place like this. I mean, look at this stuff. This is gorgeous, right? Little domes everywhere. It's like a little village of probably really pretentious hippies that tell you to wear patchouli. And anyway, hi, how you doing? I hope you're doing well wherever you are today, whether it's day or night, or you know the whole spiel. This one's going to be a little bit deeper, not a mental health one necessarily, but one that I think will delve into some topics that I think maybe you deal with, and certainly that I deal with every single day. So with that said, let's get started. So there's something that I think a lot of us deal with, like I said, and it is we're two people, right? I know that I'm two people, at least, So at first, I'm this person that I think is a good person, right? I smile at people, I laugh at jokes, I pet dogs that I see on the street. I give money to charities and donations, and I do things like that. I make videos I make these silly little videos on the internet, and I do this, and I'm happy and I'm joyful and everything like that. And I'm sure that you have those moments in your life as well, where you're happy and upbeat, and you're Mr. Good or Mrs. Good or Person Good, right? You are today. You are the best person that you can be. You're humming a little tune as you're going down the street. You're walking through the little main street part of town. You walk into some stores, and you're like, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, it's a great day outside. How you been? What's going on in your life?" Making conversation, just being really joyful and happy. And I think sometimes if you cross it with that other person, you can get some trouble. And we'll get into that in a second. Okay. So we've all... Wow, it doesn't do well when I cross my hands. Hand tracking, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so we've got that part of us, or that person inside of us that is this good person, this like side of us that's righteous and, well, not self-righteous, you know what I'm saying, righteous and good, and you follow rules, and you help people. You see an old lady crossing the street and you help her across. You see someone fall down, you go over and you help them up, or something like that. Okay, well, then there's the other side, the side of you that is dark. And this is something I'm going to describe my own. You can think about your own while I'm doing this, but let me describe a little bit of what that's like. And it's sort of the bipolar thing. It goes along with bipolar, sort of. But you can also, have these changes, these different sides, this duality, right? With or without any sort of condition that would impact your life. You can be completely 100% normal, physically, mentally, spiritually, which, congratulations if you are. You're probably not watching this video. You're out climbing Everest and singing songs and recording your new album or whatever. Anyway, look, you can see him right there. He's right there. He's waving. Anyway, so the dark part, the part of us that is described in some places as the dark passenger, right? The dark passenger. It's this thing that's inside of me that needs to see, I need to play GTA, right? Or I need to go into Blade and Sorcery and just, slash and hack and do all that stuff in the game. I need to maybe write some angry poetry or something. Angry poetry. What Shakespeare did on his in his off days, anyway. Or listen to some really like hard music, some not like death metal, but maybe something that has a thumping beat, like I don't know, some raga, heavy Jamaican reggae music that's talking about you know what I'm saying, right? You need to listen to just like angry music. You feel just I go out into the world, and I'll if I have to interact with people most days like this, when I'm feeling Mr. Evil, right? I'll stay home. I'll make sure that I don't interact with people because of the brain damage and stuff like that. It can be a little difficult for me to regulate that at times. Not dangerous. I'm not dangerous or anything. I could just be kind of a big dick, and I don't I don't like, I can be really awkward. I can be a jerk. I can cause all sorts of uncomfortableness for some people. So when I've got this angry thing, I try not to go out. But when I do, when I have to, when I got to go interact with people, it's those one syllable responses. Yeah, no, okay. Well, okay is, that's two, but you know what I'm saying. You're very short with people. You see other people, like let's say you see a couple that's walking down the street and they're holding hands and you're just having a particularly crappy day and you look at them, you're like, you stupid idiots. Go off and do your kissing and cuddling somewhere else. We don't want that stuff here. Get out of here, right? You see kids playing in a fire hydrant, that's been turned on for them, and you're like, it's a waste of water. Get those kids out of here. They're going to hurt themselves, stupid idiots, right? And this is stuff that I go through. I feel these things. The dark part of me, it's not a multiple personality thing, right? It is instead, for me at least, this uncontrollable voice. This part of me that will immediately say or imagine the worst possible thing. And it doesn't happen to me all the time. And if it happens to you, I'm pretty sure it probably doesn't happen to you all the time either. Before I go any further into psychology type stuff, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist or a therapist or social worker. I don't hold any degrees in anything associated with mental health or anything like that. So take all this advice at your own discretion and risk. Don't think that you're going to compare yourself to me, but I think because I go through this stuff, I think it's relatable to you as well. So we'll continue with that taken care of. Lawyers, you good with that? Okay, good. So this darkness is this voice that's in me. And if you deal with something like this, and you haven't been treated in any way for some of this, please go get some sort of, get looked at. No shame. It's cool. You'll be a little happier or a lot happier. Okay. So this dark voice inside of me, I'll see someone who, is wearing a shirt or something that they're talking about how cool it is and they're proud of it, and all I can hear in my head is this voice that's saying, shut up, you idiot. That shirt looks so stupid, you don't even realize it, right? Or someone will be saying something in a conversation. I'm in line at the grocery store, and I hear someone in front of me talking to the cashier, and they're saying, oh, my little Timmy got first place in the spelling bee. And all that's going through my head is, shut up, no one cares about your stupid kid. I don't want to hear anything about your dumb family and your dumb things going on, right? There's this darkness, this negative part of me that takes over in those situations. And it happens with things like physically too, right? I'll be walking up a flight of steps, and immediately that dark part of my head puts this slideshow into my brain of me missing a step and smacking into one of those stairs really hard and cracking my face or something. Or I'll pick up a knife and I'm cutting something in the kitchen, right? And my brain will immediately show me the slideshow of me cutting a finger right off. And I know you probably get that once in a while, but for me it is this vivid, shocking, just dark, horrible image that shows me every single detail and makes me I have to push it out of my head. Now, this doesn't happen all the time. This is something that I notice happens when I'm in that kind of dark, evil kind of thing going on. I don't really know what sets it off either, right? There are parts of me that they get really annoyed really fast, right? It's that waking up on the wrong side of the bed thing. I do a thing, and I don't know if you do this as well. Let's say you're trying to get back to sleep in the morning. You wake up, you go to the bathroom, you go back to sleep, and all of a sudden, let's say the phone rings, and you're just like, okay, let me go. I'm going to ignore that, but, let's see. Oh, it was, so-and-so. They'll leave a message. Okay. And then you're laying there, and a couple minutes later, your neighbor's dog starts barking. And all of a sudden you're like, right, it wakes you up a little bit more. And so you settle back in, and all of a sudden, ding dong, your doorbell goes off, and it's a package you ordered from some online retailer, and you're like, So at 3 or 4 times when that happens for me, I grab the blanket and I whip those blankets off. I throw them off as hard as I can, and I stomp out of the bed and I'm like, what the right? And I go stomping through the house over to the door, and then that's it. I'm done. There's no going back to sleep. And for most of the day, if nothing else, I am pissed, right? Everything has that sharp edge on it. Everything is like, screw you. I don't want to hear anything about Fluffy Bunny anything, right? I don't want to watch any musicals. I don't want to go watch any feel good YouTube videos or anything. No kitty compilations or whatever, right? I don't want to do any of that stuff at all. Screw the world. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to mope right here in my house. And I'm going to listen to angry music and kill things in GTA and strangle people and Blade and Sorcery and stuff. And it lasts at least until, well, not at least, it lasts until my wife gets home, right? There may be a little bit of overlap where she's like, how are you doing today? And I'm like, meh. And she knows immediately, like, oh, okay. Like she'll kind of settle in and start talking to me slowly and like, hey, having a good day so far, but it pretty much immediately stops when my wife gets home. And I think that's kind of important, if you have that kind of darkness too, to find some trigger that'll bring you back from that. Okay? It's important to be able to bring yourself back from that brink of being Mr. Evil or Mrs. Evil or Person Evil. I am the embodiment. Anyway. So, the question becomes, and this is something that was posed in Doctor Who. I have to come back to the Doctor Who reference because it's so perfect. The 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi's version. The issue that he struggles with the most during his run as the Doctor is he a good man? He asks himself, am I a good man? Am I a good person? Right? And it takes him the entire series pretty much to sort that out, or at least up to a certain point, like up until right until the last season, he figures it out. But spoiler alert, sorry. Anyway, so it doesn't really spoil anything, trust me. So he struggles with this idea of whether he's a good man, because he goes around the universe and he does things that some think, he ends civilizations by blowing up bad guys, and he destroys things that are, so he says, am I a good man? Now, his version of the Doctor is kind of seen as one that has a social disorder, like some sort of social disease, right? Like, you would call it Asperger's, but they don't call it that anymore, right? It's just like he would be on the autism spectrum because he's a little bit of a sociopath. He's kind of very emotionless and cold about things. He has to have index cards that tell him, I'm sorry about the loss of your family member / friend / pet, right? He's supposed to read them when he does something bad. Anyway, but he asks himself, am I a good man? And he discovers at the end the thing that I think is most important about this, and I'm going to leave you with this today. He discovers, and you should discover too, you're not a good person. Shocking, right? Oh my God, what are you saying, Orpheus? I'm not a good person? Oh, hold on. You're not a good person, but you're not a bad person. And as he says, he's just an idiot with a box who stops by and helps once in a while with people. Right? And that's what I think that you and I need to take away from that as well. I'm not a good person. I'm not a bad person. I lean towards good, right? But what I should take away from that is I'm just an idiot wandering around in the world, telling stupid stories, experiencing amazing and wonderful things, or maybe just sitting on the couch, right? Just having an angry day, just scowling at the world and saying, screw you, I'm going home, right? That kind of thing. Okay, wow, that's surprising. I didn't know I could do that. Wow, that's amazing. Good on you, meta folks. Anyway, so whether you're doing one thing or the other, the message is who you think you are inside. Are you good? Do you feel like a good person? Yeah, you're going to struggle with it. Of course, everyone struggles with it. But if you continue to try to do good, and I say this at the end of most of my videos, I say it two different ways: do well, be well, continue to do well, and treat yourself well. But I also say do good, continue to do good, because that's what's important. Do good for yourself, do good for other people. If you can't, try not to scrape up against them too hard until you're feeling a little better. And if that's something that affects you almost every day in your life and you struggle with it, go get some help. It's out there, it's available, and you don't have to feel bad about it. It'll help you feel great, and it'll help the world to feel great about you just a tiny bit more. Okay. I hope that helped. I hope it gave you a little bit of perspective on things. And we'll see you in the next one. Hope you tune in for another edition of Orpheus Plays. I got a playlist of my crazy adventures here on Blade and Sorcery there. We'll do one of my more recent videos here. Yep, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye!